Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Rowe. We're looking in Geometry Part A. This is Lesson 16, and we're going to look at regular polygon interior angles and the exterior angle sum theorem. So let's talk about regular polygons just a second. Remember, this information is covered in the lesson content. This is just a little helper explanation to help you as you're working through your assignments. So again, we have a regular polygon, has all congruent sides and angles. So each side and each angle are the same. So we have this corollary to the polygon angle sum theorem. Remember, the angle sum theorem said if you added, or if you took the number of triangles, which was n minus 2, the sides minus 2, and multiplied it by 180, you could figure out the total of all the angles. So now to figure out what each angle of a regular polygon is, we add this little divide by n part, and then we can figure out what each angle of a regular polygon is. So here is just a short table. Remember, we got some tables in the lesson. This kind of is a corollary to that table as well, so you can make your own table, finish filling it out. But if we have a triangle, remember, a triangle has 3 sides. So if we fill into this formula, 180 times 3 minus 2, 3 minus 2 is 1. 180 times 1 divided by 3 is 60. So each angle of a equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. Now if we had a quadrilateral, a 4-sided figure, fill into the formula. 4 minus 2 is 2 times 180 is 360. 360 divided by 4 is 190. Now, a regular quadrilateral is called a square. So if you've seen squares before, you know they all have right angles for its vertices. So let's take a look at a 5-sided. That's a pentagon. A 5-sided object, we take 5 minus 2, that's 3. 180 times 3 divided by 5 will get 108 degrees. Now, that's the interior angle of a regular polygon. So let's look at how we're going to apply this. Let's say we wanted to know the measure of each angle of a regular 36-sided polygon. I don't know if you've ever seen a regular 36-sided polygon before. Probably not. It's going to be fairly close to a circle. So we're going to expect this angle to be a pretty big angle. So let's take a look at what we got. We're going to apply our formula, 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. N is 36 in this particular problem. 36 minus 2 is 34. So we're going to multiply 180 times 34. That's 6,120. If we divide it by 36, we'll get 170 degrees. So each angle of a regular 36-sided polygon is 170 degrees. So let's take a look at the exterior angle sum theorem. So we're talking about the exterior angles. So the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of any polygon. Make sure you write that word down, of any polygon. One at each vertex is 360 degrees. So here's a pentagon. So the pentagon has 5 sides. So if we were to extend each side of this pentagon, we'll get one angle at each vertex. And those are the exterior angles that we're talking about. Now, I want you to write this down if you're taking some notes, and you should be. These two angles side by side form a linear pair. So make sure you understand that these two angles side by side are a linear pair. And that's the same way all the way around. So these two are linear pairs. So if we take this angle and we subtract from 180, we'll get this exterior angle. So now what's true about all 5 of those angles? If we add them together, we're going to always get 360. And that's for any object. So if you had a quadrilateral, you would add the 4 angles and get 360. If it was a hexagon, you would add the 6 angles and get 360. So no matter what the shape is, you're going to add all of the exterior angles. You will always get 360. And these two angles side by side will always be a linear pair, so they will always add up to equal 180. So here is a quadrilateral. And our goal here is going to be to find what x is. So we're going to apply that exterior angle sum rule. that they're always 360. And we're going to set up an equation with what we're given. We're given 95 plus 71 plus 130, and we've got x. All of that has to equal 360. So we're going to combine these like terms right here. That's going to give us 296. And remember, we had to do an inverse operation here to solve this one-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 296 from each side, and that's going to give us that x is 64. So that's how one of the applications you're going to have to do in the assignment. So let's talk about a regular polygon. We talked about a regular polygon, just a few minutes ago. So how does that apply with this exterior angle rule? So for a regular polygon, the measure of each exterior angle is going to be this simple formula, 360 divided by n. It's going to make sense in just a second. We've already looked at some of the interior angles, and we're going to see how they relate to the exterior angles. So if we look at the same three sides that we talked about earlier, we've got a three-sided object, triangle. 360 divided by 3 is 120. Now, if you recall, the interior angle was 60 degrees. So if we added those two together, remember I said that those two would always equal 180 degrees. And this is going to be true for any of them. So if the interior angle is 180, or if the interior is 60, the exterior is 120, that equals 180. So that's always going to apply. So now if we got a quadrilateral, same thing. We've got 360 divided by 4 is 90. So the exterior is 90, the interior is 90. 90 plus 90 was 180. A pentagon, we've got a pentagon. 360 divided by 5 is 72. If you recall, the interior angle was 108. So 108 plus 72 equals 180. So that's a good thing that you can do to figure out the exterior angle or the interior angle of a regular polygon. So now we're going to use this exterior angle sum to figure out x, and then to use x to figure out each angle. So here is our example. So we need to figure out what x is. And we're going to use that to figure out all of these angle measures. So what are we going to do? We're going to set up an equation. Remember, if we add all of these together, all 6 of these angles, what should it equal? Well, it's going to equal 360. So we're going to add all of these together. X plus 5x minus 23 plus 4x plus 7 plus 2x plus 4x plus 6 plus 6x minus 26. So add everything together, set it equal to 360. So this is a multi-step equation. So the first thing we do is combine like terms. So we've got x plus 5x plus 4x plus 2x plus 4x plus 6x, and so on. That's going to be 22x. Negative 23 plus 7 plus 6 minus 26. That gives us negative 36. So this simplifies into a two-step equation. We're going to add 36 to each side. That gives us 396. And then we're going to divide both sides by 22. So that tells us that x is 18. So this angle right here is 18 degrees. So now we're going to use 18 to figure out each one of these other angles. So now we're going to find the other angles. So start off with 5x minus 23. We're going to substitute 18 for x. If we substitute 18 for x, 5 times 18 minus 23 is 67 degrees. Same thing for 4x plus 7. Substitute 18 for 4. 4 times 18 plus 7 is 79. Move all around. 2x. 2 times 18 is 36. So that angle is 36 degrees. Moving on around to the next one. 4x plus 6. We substitute 4 times 18 plus 6 gives us 78. And then finally, we've got this angle. 6 times x minus 26. 6 times 18 minus 26 is 82. So again, this was the exterior angle theorem and the regular polygon rules. So I hope this helps you with the assignment problems where you have to use those rules and theorems. If you still struggle with this content, you need to let us know in a teacher message or make an appointment for a help session.